and also into the show chat. Okay, boom, and sharing out band member Twitters here. Get your Twitters, and then also the main band one too. So just want to get all these out to y'all. Okay, I think them's the links. Let me jump back over onto the stage here. All right, let's see. I do see Sammy's back. Great. So I'm going to send out some invites here. I'm going to hit up Sammy. I'm going to hit up Johnny. And let's see. I think we'll have possibly another guest.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
I do hear you. We have possibly on Johnny's end an echo.
Oh,
If you can headphone up, that would usually eliminate that.
okay. We'll do.
No worries. It's great that we have audio. Okay, I'm gonna drop the I wanted to get these links in both the live chat and the event chat. Yeah, I think that took care of it because I'm not hearing myself echoing back anymore. Very nice to meet you, to have you here jumping on Easy's Corner.
We're so happy to be here. Simon's getting everything worked out, so he will be here as well. And we're super excited about
Awesome. Very cool. Just getting out all these links in both channels here in case, because some people jump into the live. We're usually over in the live chat channel, but people do kind of wind up in the stage chat too sometimes. So I'm gonna be kind of double devicing so I can keep an eye on everything here. I'm just jumping back over to the live chat now, where we'll be getting entertaining gifs and memes and whatnot, as well as interaction from our lovely audience members in the forms of questions and comments and stuff. So I am pretty set now with all my multiple devices here, although I didn't quite get the Unlonely up. So let me just see if we're running over there. I believe so. Trislet, let me know if for some reason we're not. I used to be able to find it just by going to the little schedule thing, and it would be like kind of in the current stuff, but I didn't see it when I went over there this time. But yeah, lovely to have you here. I know we've got one more member working out, getting in on the action here. But if you guys want to maybe give a little bit of personal intros, I think it's super valuable always to be able to find out. Like, I mean, I like to go way back. Where did you get your inspiration for music? Could have been a family thing from day one. It's in the blood. Other people, maybe it's in school teacher or something. So I just love to kind of take it all the way back to like, where did you find that love of music? And then we can go into like tech and stuff too. But I think that's a nice kind of way to kick things off. If either of you wants to start with a little intro and bring us back.
Hey, Johnny, why don't you start if that's okay?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Everything coming through okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
awesome.
I actually don't have your video. It looked like you might have switched to
I
video,
know I was
right?
trying to get it going, but for some reason it is being trifling.
If you want to, a possible fix would be possibly jumping out, restarting the app, and jumping back in. If you want to give that a go, we could try that now and see if we can get that video
Yeah,
working.
sure.
Great. If not, it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. See ya.
All right. We'll get Johnny back in a sec here and see if he might be able to get video. I know, just technology is not always so easy to work with. Sometimes the Discord works smooth, sometimes it's a little buggy.
The older I get, it's like the more I repel technology. I don't know about the rest of you. That's just a
It
thing that
is it
happens.
it doesn't get any like easier, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Last week I think, or recently someone had mentioned like, I don't know, practically all the planets were in retrograde or something. So that could have been part of it. But yeah, it's always a little bit of a challenge. But we got solid audio tonight, that's for sure.
Excellent, excellent. Well, like, for me, music was just in my blood. I always tell people I knew from the age of 5, the first time I sang Silent Night in front of a church crowd, that was kind of it for me. Yeah, that was my
Nice.
path forward. I was always going to be a singer one way or another. So
That's
very,
awesome.
yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, music has just kind of been in my blood too. I've always had a big love for it. My dad's been a lifelong musician, so I grew up in kind of a family that had music as a big part of it. And yeah, having played a little bit and enjoyed a lot. It's just something that, yeah, I think it's just essential for life. So some people are just boom, born with that, music in their blood. Like you said, it's just part of us. And other people, may have that and discover it a little later in life and not, like 5 years old or something. But that's awesome that kind of knew that from the get-go.
Absolutely. I can't wait for Johnny to get back up here though. The way we met, the way all three of us met is just astounding. I mean, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. Oh, there he is.
Yep. Might take a sec for him to connect, but we do have Johnny back.
Can you guys hear me?
All right. Yep. Audio coming through.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the video here, but that's okay. All right, so
Yeah, no worries.
so what was the question? We were talking
Uh,
about where we kind of came from.
Yeah, yeah, just like, take it all the way back to the early days of like where you kind of knew like, okay, music is my jam. Like this is what I want to do.
Man, I'll tell you, and I'm a big electronic music guy, and I've been DJing since the mid '90s. Started out with vinyl, Of course, we're all in the digital age and all that jazz, right? Um, and I'll tell you, one of the first times that I really realized that I wanted to really do music, DJ, um, was when I used to help promote parties back in the day, and was in Austin, Texas. We hosted the Herb Smile Mix Tour, and this was like '96 or something. And one of the DJs was playing, and he dropped this track, BBE 7 Days in a Week, off of Positiva, real old kind of trance type track. And that track, it just blew me away. And in that moment, it's like on the dance floor, surrounded by all these people you don't even know, and you just get this electric just feeling running through your whole body. And man, that was it for me. And you just at that exact moment, you just felt the energy. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that was the moment for me. I mean, I'd always been messing with music before then, but like that was really a life-changing moment for me.
awesome. Yeah, gotta respect the vinyl DJs. It's just, yeah, now it's very different and there's really cool things you can do digitally and
Yeah.
like so much access. But there's
Oh
just
yeah.
something like I grew up, yeah, listening to, scratching and really,
Oh, like
just it was
invisible scratch
all.
pickles and stuff, and
Yeah, yeah, it was all about just that vinyl and growing up listening to records at the
sure.
home like stereo
Uh-huh.
system too. You just kind
Yeah,
of get an appreciation for the
high
richness of
fidelity.
that vibe. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I can dig it. That's dope.
Yeah, man. But I mean, the one good thing about technology is it has opened it up for a lot of people. I mean, because back then, you get vinyl, and I've got a good, I don't know, 3,000 something records at my house. And you end up paying 10, 15, 20, whatever dollars per track, especially now. And I don't really buy too much vinyl anymore unless it's a friend's kind of thing. But
Yeah,
um, but it's expensive, right? Like, so now it has opened the door for a lot of people that you might not actually be able to find, right? Because
yeah. Oh
they're
yeah.
able to kind of get into it, and then you start hearing these kids that are like 16 and stuff, like just producing, and you're like, man, holy snikes, dude,
Yep,
So,
yep. Yeah, I mean, lugging around the crates beyond the cost, the weight
oh
of the
man,
vinyl,
yeah, I
and
got
then
my
having to
palms
have
out.
a couple of Technique turntables, like, that's more cost on top of that, and just, like, yeah, the
Oh yeah,
physical equipment, like,
I
it's
still
just
got
it's
my techs and everything, so you know.
nice, nice, dope. But yeah, so and then so that was kind of where you found out, okay, this is definitely
Yeah,
something that I want to pursue more than just like having a big love of music. What were kind of some
right.
of your next steps?
Well, so, I started DJing, and I'll tell you, in those days, I was actually in the military at the time. So I was started DJing everything when I was in the army, and then I traveled over to Korea, and I was there for like a year and a half almost, and I
Cool,
left the military after that, did my 4 years and got out. But even over in Korea, I got to the chance to do a couple residencies over there, with some little underground clubs, and actually,
cool.
they ended up banning like the posts, and they couldn't go to the club that I was playing at. I actually even still have the newspaper clipping. Just kind of a cool little, neat little thing to have. You know what I mean? Um, but and I never actually really wanted to produce music, but then I started producing about 2000 or so, with a friend of mine, and no one else really wanted to do it. And my friend, come on, man, let's just learn this and do the thing, man. Come on, you're gonna have to put out music at some point, blah blah blah. Okay, man. So I started learning, and then here we are this day. I almost think I like producing better than I like DJing.
You've been
I
doing
still
it
Right
love,
on.
now.
but man, no matter what, it's just part of me,
Yeah,
and that's why you do it for 20, 30 years. And and everybody's, oh, you're getting older, so and
yeah. To
what
getting
of it,
older,
man? That's
getting
experience, man.
getting better, getting wiser. Yeah,
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right, man.
totally.
And you can't just pick up
Try
this
different
stuff
things.
in 10
You know.
minutes and, like, all of a sudden you're, king of the world, which is what I never wanted to be anyway. I don't even care. You know what I mean? I just do it because I love to do it. And you get
Nice.
better, right? And it's just about honing your skills and just doing what you love to do?
Awesome. I bet that was a really cool, well, I think you said maybe year and a half, in Korea. That must have been really cool just playing at, like, underground little
It
spots and
was,
stuff
man.
in
It
the kinda
was.
early days
Yeah, like
the growth there.
I ended up there was a translator from Canada, and he was like the only guy that was playing this whole night, both nights. And I came up to him, I was like, hey man, you need some help? Or like, yo, I could bring up vinyl, and it would take a 2 hour bus up to Seoul, and then play with this guy, and it was just cool, man. I mean, it was
That's
just a cool
super cool.
experience, you know.
Yeah.
It was called the Dam Club.
And that was the
So
one that got, like, canceled
yeah,
or
yeah. Well, yeah, no, none of the soldiers could actually go to that club
right.
anymore. They banned everybody, and it was hilarious because in that formation that morning when they said it was like a Monday morning, and captain or whatever, he's up there, and all right, no one can go to the Dam Club in Seoul, Korea. It's been banned, blah blah blah, saying all this stuff, and everybody turned around and looked at me, and I was like, I didn't do it.
Nice.
I didn't do it, man,
Of course, everybody wants to go more then because it's, like,
Right,
off
right,
limits,
it's
yeah, that
just
was the opposite of what they should have said, but yeah, like that you said you had that little clipping, that would be maybe something fun to just, like, mint as a little,
Oh,
I don't
man, you know
know,
what?
some
That's a good
fun
idea.
little
Yeah,
mintable thing, put some,
sure, man.
little
I've got a bunch
historic,
of that little,
track on there or something,
sure, man.
Yeah.
I like to save all those old flyers and, all that old stuff just to
Cool.
kind of go through, and you look back and, oh man, I remember that party.
Yeah.
I remember that guy, whatever. It's just fun,
That's
nostalgia,
yeah,
and, everything, man.
Real
totally
quick,
the
since
new
the
oh,
sun
jump in,
made
yeah.
it. King's Eve on there.
Sorry,
So
I didn't mean
Alright,
excited
let's get him up.
to be up here together.
We're getting kings up right
Is
now,
Simon
just
coming up?
sent the invite.
Oh, uh-oh.
Alright.
He's
Really
here.
cool.
Uh-oh. We got the whole band together now.
got the band together.
I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to be.
You made it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I just swore as well. Sorry.
Oh, no, there's no problem. This is not like a children's show or anything. You can say whatever you feel like. There's
Oh, there you are.
they're swearing aloud.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hear you
Thank
loud
you.
and clear.
Brilliant. Thank you to everybody who's tried to get me to this point. Thank you to Binks. I think I had a bit of a senior moment, so I couldn't work out how to. It's just too complicated. This
Discord, yeah, Discord is not like just super easy to jump on. There are hoops, but once you're in, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we were just kind of getting into the combo, but I would love to I kind of got the backstory to where kind of that love and intrigue of music came from Sammy and Johnny. So King's Evil, if you want to kind of just take us back and let us know kind of where you found your love for music. When did you know, like, okay, this is something that's going to be a big part of my life or part of my career and things like that?
That's a really that goes way back a long time.
Nice.
My sister is really into music, and she would play me interesting stuff when I was like maybe 11 or 12.
Older sister.
She's older than me, yeah. So she would come home when she was about 15 or 16 with these kind of crazy cassettes of bands like the Smiths and Marillion, and also the Circle Jerks and sort of West Coast punk and Northern English indie music and prog rock. And it was in my mind, obviously for her there was a bit of a progression from one to the other, from sort of kind of awful, terrible prog rock music through to kind of the Smiths and stuff. But because I was hearing it out of sequence and out of context, I was hearing all this music at the same time. So for me, there was no kind of value comparison to be made. So it was all great because I love my sister, so she would play me these crazy cassettes, and they were all brilliant because she played them to me. So that was when I was about 11 or 12. So that's when I really started getting into listening to kind of interesting music, besides kind of the collection of scratched family 7-inch singles that we had lying around the living room underneath the coffee table. Things like rubbish like Little White Bull by Tommy Steele and the Wurzels. You probably don't know who any of those people are, but it's just trash music. Kind of ironically, I still really love those records. I still really like Combine Harvester by the Wurzels. I think it's a genuinely brilliant song. And then in terms of playing music, music's part of kind of most kids' lives in the UK. You end up in a brass band or you end up doing choir or something like that. So but when I first really got into making music of my own is when my friend Sammy knows this story. She finds it hilarious, but I'm going to tell it again. My friend Stuart, who I was,
It's legit the best story I've ever heard, y'all.
Nice.
And then my friend Stuart, I really liked him, but he was kind of annoying. But he used to go on. His brother had a guitar. He had a big sort of West Tone. Where was it? I think it was a West Tone or something like that. One of those heavy metal guitars with a big pointy end, and it was all kind of funny colours.
Nice.
And he would go on and on and on and on about it, and he'd play a few chords on it, and it was all terrible. It became this kind of really irritating kind of hangnail of a conversation. Oh yeah, your bloody brother and his guitar. Yeah, all right. So I thought, I know that the only thing that would stop him from boasting about his brother and his guitar is to get a guitar. So I bought a guitar for my friend Nick Ayres, his brother, for 50 quid. It was a Yamaha SG-AT from about 1973. It was a second-hand £50 guitar and a little amplifier, and that was it. So my entire music career as a musician is predicated on spite for Stuart Pratt.
Right.
His annoying brother's guitar, just to shut him up. And that's pretty much the kind of how it's been for the last 36 years. It's just a career based on a grievance.
Classic. I love it. Yeah. Well, it was what, like the neighbor's kid or a friend's brother. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just to shut him up.
Yeah, just to shut him up.
And you're
worked.
You're still doing it.
Yeah, I think his brother probably doesn't play the music anymore, but I certainly do.
Right.
So,
Hopefully. Awesome. It's so great to hear those kind of stories. That's exactly why I love to ask the questions and kind of bring people back to those early days. And yeah, I can totally relate to just like the nostalgia of, your folks old records and stuff too. And similarly, I can relate, like I grew up in kind of a musical family. My dad's a musician and has been for
Mm,
my whole life. So, but
mm,
also, like my older brothers, more my oldest brother would sometimes let me come in and listen to music or pass me a cassette that I could play on my little boombox. And so it
mm,
would be like, I mean, geez, I anything from like early, I don't know, like Styx to like Prince to like Grateful Dead to Dylan to, and then I'd get
mm,
more classic stuff like my dad would have me start on more like maybe for rock and roll and stuff like Elvis and the Beatles, but then like working like blues and other
mm,
stuff,
mm,
folk music and stuff too. So I have a pretty broad spectrum
mm,
of music that I appreciate.
mm.
But yeah, nice to get a little bit of those early stories.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? They're nice to remember those stories.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so I think we've got a little background from everybody. I'd love to hear kind of the story of how you guys all got to know each other and
Oh
kind of
dear.
how that went down, how you started connecting, and I'm sure there's some good stories in there too.
There's one or
Goodness.
two.
Okay. So, Johnny and I are both from Austin, and we ran in the same circles, played at the same shows, yada, yada, yada. But this was 20 years ago, and we don't remember meeting one another then. And then fast forward, 20 years, and we're both settled in the Midwest, and we met on Tinder. So,
It's
No way.
it's the
I
place for
swear to
great
God, like
collabs,
we knew very, very early on that it wasn't a romantic type of connection
Yeah.
whatsoever. But we also knew like we'd found our tether, like our best friend in this environment that we knew nothing about, the
It was
Midwest.
far more
You know?
important than finding some sort of whatever, you know,
Yeah, absolutely,
far more
absolutely.
important.
Right,
Um,
yeah, that's like, meeting, a bandmate on Tinder is probably like 1,000 times more successful than meeting a
Right.
lover, right?
Maybe, maybe
So
not.
that's
I don't know.
you got the quality swipe there.
quality sleep.
Well, so yeah, we both had yeah, I had music producer, DJ on mine, and she had singer-songwriter. So it's like, oh, okay, let's just, let's swipe right and let's, whatever, man.
See what
I'd rather
happens,
find
yeah.
that, to be honest. It's all good.
And
Awesome.
then fast forward a few months down the line, and I was in a space on Twitter, just like a karaoke singing space, right? And Simon came in, and I was like, no, that can't be him. And okay, for the record, I am not a devious person, right, at all by any stretch. But when I saw that it was him, and I realized, holy shit, that's really Simon Johns, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sing a couple of songs that I know I can knock out of the park so that when I add him, maybe he'll add me back. And then that happened. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what kind of time frame are we talking about? How long have you guys been rocking together?
As the
About
three
three
of us
years.
had a year almost, like come
It's gone
November.
Has it
quick,
really
hasn't
been that long?
it? Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's
Wow.
been that long.
Yeah. Time just be flying. I'm just
It
saying.
does, isn't it? That went very fast.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time flies
Fast
when you're
forward
having
about a
fun.
year, and now we're almost done with the album. We're getting there, guys. So close.
All
Oh my
right,
gosh.
yeah. And so what
Yeah.
was, how was or what was, and maybe for each of you, if you want to go into it, or kind of if it was more of a collective thing once you got together, what were those touch points for like starting to get interested in, the Web3 aspects of, music on Web3, which is, still very, very nascent. It's definitely be interesting to hear about kind of where you got into that and then how that kind of crazy journey has been unfolding.
Safe to say that we're still traversing that environment. It's all very, very new to us, even me, and I've been kind of dipping my toes in it for a year and a half.
Mm.
Mm. And
Right on.
Yeah, we're learning as we go, for sure.
As we all
Yes.
are, as it's ever changing and
Yeah.
developing, really.
Yeah. I'm shockingly old, so all of this is kind of quite newfangled for me and mysterious. You know, I come from a tradition where we used to make flexi discs out of plastic and stuff. So
All
Web3
right.
and NFTs is still, you know, I'm not like a Luddite, but I'm still trying to get my head around it. You know, it's kind of, yeah. I think Web
A
1 and 2 are
lot.
still I'm still trying to get used to them. And then there's a Web 3.
Right. And so much, I mean, there's just so many possibilities to apply to, making NFTs out of, music and like we were talking earlier, when Johnny was saying he has like a little clipping from back in Korea from when everyone on bass got, banned from going to this club that he was DJing at. And he mentioned like he likes to keep little trinkets, like kind of like, scrapbook or whatever of those memories. Well, NFTs can make that so easy because it's digital, and it's like you can have, say, your like proof of attendance participation POAP, or your little NFT that you got for free at a show, or you maybe collected some music, and so then you got some extra item that is special for the drop of that first album or something. So you have these kind of mementos to take you back, like many of us older would have concert stubs, tickets from important concerts that are tacked up on the wall or in a drawer somewhere, or whatever. So it's really interesting, even just as kind of from that aspect, and then also the whole possibly monetary benefits from might be able to earn more than just like streaming through NFT sales and stuff. So yeah, a lot of different ways to look at it, and a lot of different choices of tech and stuff out there. So it is kind of
the
crazy.
sort of the take.
Oh, go ahead, honey.
No, so the takeaway I get from it is just being able to be a bit more control of your own sort of musical destiny. That seems to be that's the main attraction for me. It's like controlling your own distribution and your own marketing and promotion. So
absolutely.
But then again, I want to say it does seem like a lot of hard work. All those things that in the traditional space, you would just some minion would have. Minion person would have taken care of, for a fee, obviously. But now you have to sort of. It seems like being a part-time musician seems to be like a full-time job these days.
Well, you've never really been a part-time musician. Am I allowed to let people know of your illustrious past?
Hardly illustrious, but
drop some accolades on us.
Bass player for Stereolab, y'all. So, I mean, I literally used to daydream about Stereolab and Bjork, like asking me to go on tour with them when I was 16 and 17, and
Awesome.
now I'm
would have been good
performing with my favorite member from that band, and it's very surreal. And he hates it when I tell that story.
Whole body back tattoo, so
I've met a few people with Stereolab tattoos. They're
really
quite scary people. Yeah. It's like the bit in Alan Partridge when he turns up and he's got a big tattoo of Alan Partridge on his chest and says, "I love you, Alan." And it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure whether that was a good idea. And you have to sort of feign, sort of like, "Oh, that's great. Yeah, really, way." Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. It would be pretty harsh to have like your like giant tattoo just like trashed by the person it's of.
No. I used to know a fellow back in Tunbridge, where I'm from, back in Kent in southeast England, and he was obsessed by this band called the Meteors. They're like a sort of how would you describe them? Kind of rockabilly band. I don't know if you remember them, but they're like the Stray Cats, And he had his whole arms and his chest and his back covered in tattoos of the Meteors, of their artwork and their logos. And I said, I asked him, what happens when you stop liking the Meteors? He said, I'll never stop loving the Meteors. Never. And then I met him like 10 years later at a rave, like in an electronic dance music rave. I said, you still like the Meteors? No.
How are those tattoos? Really.
Gone off him. He was like banging away to, electronic trance music. You idiot.
I think I can safely say no one's gonna get Cadence in the coda because no one can say the name right anyway, but I don't think anyone's gonna get that tattooed anywhere because it's really
Cadence and
long.
Dakota?
Right?
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
For
Weird.
sure.
I would give that person every record I'd ever made for free if they got their tattoo of that, of any of
Hey,
my,
you heard it here, folks.
yeah, yeah,
Get the
Uh-oh.
tattoo, all the records.
all the
Cadence
records
and
I
Dakota,
never
neck
made.
tat, face tat. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Really go for it.
And
Right across the
really,
front.
thank you so much to Third Planet Studios and
Hmm.
Binks for even like putting us
Yeah,
together
absolutely.
and giving us this path forward. She has made it possible for us to hopefully, if we can arrange it correctly, to all meet at NFT NYC, and that's a big deal. Not just because we want to play at it, of course, but it will literally be the first time we've played together, like in the same physical space, right?
Yeah, first time
And
we
it'll be the
met.
first time most likely that we've met because Simon
Hmm.
lives overseas in Turkey, and we live in the Midwest, which is where dreams go to die. So
Hmm.
That
we're
would be
very, very
super
excited.
epic.
It would be,
It
Yeah,
would be.
yeah.
inshallah.
And I'll tell you this, Simon's getting tackled. Simon's getting tackled. Oh.
There's
Okay,
an
he's not gonna get
incentive.
tackled, but
Oh, I'm not coming then.
all right then, all right then.
The tackle is back on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to NFT NYC too. That'd be awesome if you guys can get the band together IRL for
Hmm.
the first time and
Hmm.
have a little rockin' show. Be amazing.
That would be good. Be great.
So how that I mean that actually brings a great question up I think for people that are in the audience, myself. How is it in this kind of newfangled era to be basically doing all your bandmate stuffs through online connections and virtually? I mean, it's amazing that the tech has gotten to where you can actually pretty much be able to use software in our connections to
Mm.
be able to work in different parts of the world on a song together. It's
Mm.
incredible, but it must be a bit different than standard getting together and practicing in the garage or in the studio if you're at that level, or like it must be a bit of a different process. It must be
Yeah,
interesting.
And tell you
it's
this
much
much,
better.
these fellas are very good at what I like to call Sammy Wrangling because I am what you might call a little bit flighty, so that's where it
It's
starts.
it's much better. You mentioned the rehearsal studio. For me, it's like I'm loving not having to go to the rehearsal studio. The smell I could do without. If I ever have to smell the inside of a practice room for the rest of my life, will be too soon. No, it's good. It works well. It worked better if Johnny got a Mac and Logic, but there you go. That's
Yeah, Johnny.
no, it
I
works really
like
well.
my Ableton.
Yeah, it works really well. It's it's kind of it has its challenges. Obviously, the difficulty with not being able to play live, as it were, to experiment with ideas, kind of simultaneously to play together.
Hmm.
That's so I'm sure once somebody works out how to make technology work faster than the speed of light, then we'll work it out. But I mean, but apart from that, it works very well. It gives you the opportunity to kind of sit back from the kind of chaos of the rehearsal room and the writing room and kind of
Hmm.
consider what you're doing, your next move, and sort of put tracks together much more kind of in a much more considered way. And there's less kind of because
That's
we're not in the same sort of proximity. There's no arguing. That's quite
right.
good.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
good
well,
way of looking at it.
yeah, it works really well. I think I mean it's
Oh, sorry. I am so bad at speaking over people, Simon. I apologize. It's really nice to work with people who innately trust your abilities. Like I trust them with all of my heart, and I know that they are more than capable of taking what I do and making it incredible. And there's no egos. Everyone leaves their ego at the door. And it's definitely an accumulation of all of us. It's not any one person trying to outshine another. And that's a really, really beautiful aspect of what we've got going on here, in my
mm,
opinion.
Awesome.
I agree.
Right.
You're not having to tell each other to turn it down all the time.
That's that's pretty cool to have it be literally. I mean, it feels like it condenses down to be all about the music. I mean, of course, you have
Mm,
your relationships and friendships, but basically,
mm,
it's like it's really
mm,
core around the music. Whereas, frequently bands have like a lot more going on, whether that's just the drama end of things, or just because you're living in the same town and you're spending a lot of time together or whatever, like other things kind of filter in more. So it's
mhm.
interesting to have this kind of global band uh be coming together and really having it just the music is going to be that focus. And of course, as time goes on more, or you guys have had like a year or so together, it sounds like, and getting to then meet in person and like play in person and stuff, that's going to be this awesome experience that can hopefully happen more frequently, like be able to, okay, well, yeah, we live in different parts of the world, but once a year we do a tour and we go across the states, or we go across Europe, or we wherever the fan base is, to do that kind of thing, as well as be able to reach us all digitally and kind of in the metaverse and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, there is,
yeah, when Johnny and I play out live, going forward, we've discussed having a projector so we can project Simon and his image and him playing guitar, not essentially live, but he will still be very much a part of the experience. And that
Totally.
was always like number one, something that are going to do going forward.
Cool.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
At the
we're not
very least,
quite.
the Simon blow up doll, like it's gonna
I was
be.
gonna say you should probably, yeah, just even if it's just like one of those prefab, not Simon dolls, you could draw a little mustache and a beard and
Yeah,
a
right.
Simon on the front and stick him up there, because we're not at the
Comes with
point, I don't
accessories and stuff.
think,
It's gonna be
of
awesome.
the, yeah, you don't have the full hologram projector yet. So either blow
not
up
yet. No,
doll, or yeah, you can project them on a sheet. That'll work. But
Yeah, sure. There's
the,
a
the,
lot of
the,
cool stuff you could do with it.
the effect is much the same as it is in real life, So
Sure.
Right.
On that note, the first song that we have lined up to play for y'all, if that's okay, is
Oh yeah.
Anxiety. It's the Someday Girl edit, and there's kind of a funny story behind that, which I'll share afterwards, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just got Trislet up on stage, who's going to be streaming in our audio for us. Thank you very much, Senor Trislet. So
thank you very
once we
much.
get, it looks like that's coming up, and then if everybody, just make sure everybody, you're watching the stream in the audience so you can hear this, and we'll give it a go, and then we can talk about it after.
Thank you.
Anxiety tends to get the best of me. Downfall, land to the cosmic slaughter. Just let today pass in moments of unabashed laughter. Smiling till it's all okay. Someday, girl, it will be. Then it fades, and suddenly there's room in this space for all tomorrow's graves. Memories woven together like arsenic and lace. And I can finally breathe again. Smiling till it's all okay. Someday, girl, it will be. A young
nothing but time and something else fanatic. Smiling till it's all okay. Someday, girl, it will be. It's ludicrous to think I'm anything but fine. Still the fear is there, encroaching, enveloping, whispering, beware. Smiling till it's all okay. Someday, girl, it will be. It's just my anxiety getting the best of me. It's just my anxiety getting the best of me. It's just my anxiety getting the best of me. Smiling till it's all okay. Someday, girl, it will be.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, loving it. Very, very solid audio quality too. It sounded great in here, so that's nice to have the good quality.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Your little top-hatted friend did well.
Yes,
You
thank
want
you.
to give us some of the story now? You said there was a kind of funny story behind it. I mean, I was, it was first time listen through, but I was definitely relating to some of the lyrics as well. So I'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely.
Over to you,
That,
Sam.
it's kind of an edit of the original that Johnny and I created a while back ago. And Simon was messing around with it one day and he said, this really reminds me of the way Morrissey writes. So he created a Smith's like rendition.
Nice.
Which, yeah.
It
So the
works.
just
It
Morris.
totally works.
Yeah. But thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Sam
yeah,
Morrison.
no.
Yeah, it sort of reminded me. I wanted to sort of mess around with the lyric, and sort of just create a little kind of extra edit just for fun, because I've got, according to my wife, I've got way too much time on my hands for shit like this. I should be doing other stuff, but I think so I just wanted to kind of create an alternative version just for Sam, just for her sort of amusement, because it reminded me so much of Morrissey. It made me laugh, And so we wrote this kind of
yeah.
goth, sort of gothy, kind of folk pop goth music, which I thought was kind of quite amusing. But there's another version of this song which is more kind of akin to the sort of kind of stuff that the rest of the music like, kind of more electronic, more kind of pop wood facing.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
vibing with the kind of mellow. I definitely, after you mentioned Morrissey, I'm like, yeah, that definitely kind of fell into the vibe. I was, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, but it's got like that sort of mid '80s kind of goth music sort of sound. Very lush chorusy guitars, like the Banshees or something. That's what I was thinking. Ended up with. So you were going to say?
Oh, the original is very much a progressive house sort of track. And that'll be on the Yeah, it'll be on the upcoming
Dark kind
album,
of
11 Ways
dragon.
to Sunday.
Yeah.
We're excited to share it with the world, you know? And it's beautiful. They're 2, like, bookends of one another. The original was written almost to, like, create an atmosphere of anxiety, and this is, like, the salve to it, like, the antidote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Kind of the two sides of the coin. Interesting.
Mm.
But did you say that only the other version is going to be on the album, or will both?
So, there will be, after the album's release, there will be a few months later down the line, like, kind of an acoustic, um, reimagining of a lot of the tracks.
Cool.
Yeah, so a little bit of something for everyone, you know?
Nice.
11 Ways Till Sunday, Rideau.
Awesome. We do have more tracks to play, I believe, as
Great.
well. If you wanna hop to another one, we'll get probably be a little different vibe than the last, but if you wanna play the next one, I'm sure we can get Senior Top Hat to kick that on.
Absolutely. This is Beyond Zenith, and it's Simon's reprise of the original because the original includes a sample from a friend of mine who passed away. So I'm not real keen on playing it in spaces and stuff. It's a little bit emotional,
Mhm.
but it is up on our Bandcamp and other spaces if you'd like to go hear it.
Okay.
Heart attack. Pity that fancy laugh. Endure words whispered without the promise of tact.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Anything more you want to kind of tell us about that one?
I'll tell you, it's a tribute track to a friend of mine who passed away, who um was very kind, and he walked this world with nothing but grace and integrity and love in his heart. And it's been an honor to be able to create that with two of the people that I love most in the world for another person that I loved so much in this world.
Well, it definitely came through as, very, very beautiful tribute track. Awesome work.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a nice track to put together. I think we did him justice.
I think so
Yeah, for
too.
sure. This message gets to live
Absolutely.
on, and that was really the point of it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, letting him live on, and man, and his in the original, it's got his voice in there and
Mm,
saying his message, and and that's up on our Bandcamp and stuff too. It's just and a lot of people that have listened to it, you hear that part of it, and you hear the whole thing, of course. Like Sammy does an amazing job. She always does an amazing job. So, but man, that message really hits home whenever you take a listen to it. So, if you haven't, go check it
definitely.
out, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely be going to listen to that version too later tonight because yeah, I'd like to just experience it as well. Um, we do have more. Should we keep them rolling?
Dude, and we're excited. This is kind of an exclusive for you guys. Like we've played bits and pieces
Oh,
of this in spaces, but this is the mixed down version of Silk and Sonder.
awesome. We're getting the alpha drip over here at Easy's Corner. I like it. All right. Take it away once again, Senor Top Hat.
Give it up graciously, tenderly. We'll maybe able to start it all over again, all over again. And in the way the sun will hide behind her beloved, her moon.
That was fire. That was a super epic track.
Thanks.
It's like kind of transported me back to like I'm thinking like 2003. I was living in New York City in the Lower East Side, and like I was working in film, and I don't know, it's just like that kind of vibe was like going around in those days. Um, yeah, it's just it had a sort of a nostalgic vibe, even though it's the first time I've ever like heard it and stuff. I don't know, it just sort of transported me to like about nearly 20 years ago. I don't know.
It
I
has got
enjoyed it.
that vibe, yeah. It has got that vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's got the the oohing.
Hmm.
It has got brings you back. What do they call it? The millennial whoop. Yeah, it's good. I like it. Now that's good. That track really sort of showcases all of our abilities all in the same place. Sammy's singing, Johnny's kind of composing, and my arranging. So that's the where it all comes together on this track. That's where our
Very
strengths.
tight.
Yeah,
And
it's
Nice.
good.
to my amazing bandmates, Johnny and Simon. I mean, they do all the heavy lifting. They took a girl, an awkward, obnoxious redhead at that, and made her nonsensical lyrics kind of make sense, a little bit more cohesive, you
Yeah,
know.
it's good.
Yeah, and I'm forever thankful for that.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. It's good.
And we have so many other things in store for everyone. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Songs of Eden, but he will be showcased on a number of tracks as well, and we're super excited about that. Um,
Very cool.
yeah, yeah. Um,
And I wanted to also kind of ask a little about how you guys are going to be releasing. I know you're, newer to kind of the Web3 side of things, but if
Mm.
it's gonna, if you're starting to get into that, like, is it, gonna be a full album drop, separate songs that people can purchase singly, or, have you been starting to kind of get into some of those details?
Oh, not really. But we should have that conversation, shouldn't we?
I know there
Um,
will be a full album drop for sure.
hmm,
Um,
hmm,
but up until then, yeah, we still have to iron out some of the details and stuff. We've been so focused
hmm,
on creating,
hmm,
a lot
Yeah.
of stuff has gone by the wayside, so to speak.
hmm.
But that's okay, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like you guys are gonna have like some cool opportunities to then have like this drop, this album, and then the other like acoustic versions and cool things like
Hmm.
that that could be, maybe dropped to people that own the whole album and then also available for purchase if somebody didn't happen to pick up the album and sold out whatever, they could still go, pick up these secondaries or something. There could be interesting ways to sort of incentivize people for getting the full album too.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because that sort of the NFT Web3 space is so kind
Hmm.
of unconventional. So I'm still sort of trying not to think in sort of traditional terms. You release an album and then you predate that with a bunch of singles, and then by the time the singles come out, everyone's so sick of the rest of the record. So everything sounds rubbish. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Any advice would be welcome.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down to also maybe jump in or get soundboarded ideas off me or jump in a
Hmm,
call with you guys and
that'd
things
be
and
cool.
stuff at some point. Yeah, for
That'd be
sure.
cool. Great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sort of reminds me of like the early days of popular music after the war. In the 50s and 60s, when bands would release the album. As such was kind of a bit of a new concept. So people were releasing singles. So you'd have to release all these amazing records from the mid-century, 20th century is so fantastic because they have to say so much in such a small amount of time. 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. So it reminds me
Right.
of that. People aren't releasing albums anymore. It wasn't until we get to the 70s that the concept record and the album started to become a
Hmm.
marketable phenomenon. So I think we've kind of come full circle. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that's the interesting way of kind of looking at it is, yeah, I
Mm,
mean, because yeah, you'd have to almost have you know, um, a successful single or two before you could really get, produced to get an album out for
mm,
a certain epoch of time there. Yeah.
mm, mm. And every song has to be completely a total banger. No filler,
Right.
all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Ready? Well, thank you again for having us up. This has just been an
Oh,
amazing experience.
my pleasure. And well, we don't have to wrap everything. I think we've been going about an hour. We don't have to necessarily like kill the show or anything, but we'll give you guys the option to sort of start winding down. I think there's one more, or you were going to sing us an acapella, and then also in future, would love to have you guys back. When it's time to release all this stuff and share updated info and where people are going to be able to get their hands on it and whatnot as well. So we'll definitely have you back, and I'll be in the mix and hopefully get to like meet you guys at NFT But yeah, would definitely love to keep the combo going a little bit, and definitely to hear you sing for us a little more.
I
Yes,
sing.
it's
Go ahead, honey.
no, it's just amazing that Sam can sort of just pull it out of the bag, a cappella like that. It's truly impressive.
Absolutely.
You're very kind. Thank you. You are very impressive. Like
Oh no, I
Johnny
get
and I
to.
would say, okay, we're looking for this and this and this, and then 30 minutes later he shows us something, and I'm like, man, that is just unbelievable. It takes me like 2 weeks to get something down. That's just how I think it. It's unreal. But Johnny's getting to that point too as a producer. He hears something and he's able to, finagle everything so that he gets it exactly the way he wants it.
Nice, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Recently I had heard it takes about 10,000 hours to really tune your ear, and I guess I'd never really heard that until kind of recently. Now I've been producing for quite a while now, but it just made sense to me, and I've heard it from a few different people. So, yeah, 10,000
Yeah,
hours to kind of tune your ears.
I think that's like to be at a level of mastery of any skill. I think
Right,
they basically
right.
say, yeah, like 10,000 hours before you really are kind of
I
like.
just had
And I
never
mean,
heard
of
it
course,
before.
you're always still learning, but to
Sure.
to just get
Mhm.
to a place where like you're really, you kind of know your subject matter in and
Mhm.
out. Like yeah, it
Sure.
takes a lot of time.
Yes, Malcolm Gladwell came up with that theory, was it? I think so.
Is that right?
I think it's Malcolm
Cool.
Gladwell. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Who, funny
okay.
enough, it's
Yeah, I
from.
just had never heard it.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I think it has a lot of holds a lot of
It
water.
seems pretty
Hmm.
spot on, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and it also somewhat explodes the myth of kind of the idea of innate talent, which I think is a bit hokey. The idea that when I mention this, I often refer to Jimi Hendrix. Whether you like him or dislike him, you can't deny that he was a kind of an important and talented musician. And the temptation is to believe that he sort of sprung forth from his mother's womb with a guitar in his hand. He was uniquely gifted. Or like Robert Johnson is another one of those myths. They're inexplicably talented. It's completely explainable that Jimi Hendrix virtually slept with his guitar and played all
Right.
day, 24 hours a day. Well, as long as he was conscious, he was playing his guitar. When you're investing that much time in learning of an instrument or anything, as Johnny says, the 10,000 hours, then you're going to get good at it. And he would play pickup bands, pickup gigs twice a night for years and years and years. Yes, that's how you get good. You work at it.
Yeah.
Same with
Well,
Robert
there is a
Johnson.
shortcut.
Yeah.
There is a shortcut for me. Once I do don the cape and speedo combo, I get pretty good. It gets that much better. So,
There is the cape. There's always the magic cape.
right. I
Oh,
mean, come on,
nice.
you're just better with a cape on. You know what I mean?
But what isn't better with a cape on?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Naked people are better with a cape on.
That's a look. That's a look. I see a interesting comment from Trislet in the chat saying, well, besides teamwork makes the dream work, which is spot on. He says the potential for collecting and using collector data from buys, listens, resale is huge. Just got to use it to help give the fans more of what they want. So pretty good take there, I think, too.
Yeah, that's
kind of,
a very
For sure.
senior top hat. very well encapsulated. I didn't realize that sort of that was even possible. You know.
Oh yeah,
So,
But
yeah.
that's all new to
Blockchain
you.
gives a lot of a lot of data because it's this public ledger. You can see
mm,
who's holding any of the NFTs or full albums or anything, or
mhm,
even if somebody comes to say the first live show and there's a special free attendance NFT or something. Well, then all the people that came to that first live show, and maybe because they were there, there's some special something or other that they get at some
mhm,
point in
mhm,
future, and that's all very trackable. So yeah,
mm.
it leads to interesting ways for like engagement or rewarding and different aspects.
I'm somewhat confused by the idea of the NFT as being like a fungible. What am I trying to say? Is that how do you what's the difference between like an NFT music NFT and like Bandcamp where everybody pays a flat fee? I'm still can't. I know this is probably not the platform to discuss this right now, but maybe if we could, if we wanted to, we could talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the NFT is it stands for non-fungible token. So first of all,
Mm,
say like an NFT being a non-fungible token is different than say a Bitcoin or a portion of a Bitcoin. My little piece of a Bitcoin is the same as your little piece of a Bitcoin. We could trade them and it's the exact
mm,
same value. It's 0.01 Bitcoin or whatever. Now an
mm,
NFT generally are if they're additions, so it's not just a single one of one special one NFT. Even if there are say 100 editions of this song, each one is generally going to be serialized. So you'd have the first edition, the second edition, the third edition. So even
mm,
just that differentiation makes them unique in a
mm,
certain way. And some collectors might pay more for a first edition than they would for a 52nd edition per se,
mm,
because the first person that got there and minted right at the moment that drop went live claims that first edition, and so on.
mm,
So
mm,
even just that type of variation makes each one individually specific, and then of course depending on what's packaged kind of inside that, you can have other things, different traits. Maybe there's randomization across the songs where it's the same song, but this one has a different colored frame, or the background's a different color, or this one's black and white and those ones are
mm,
colored, and the black and white ones, there's only a few of those, they're really rare, so they could be worth more. Or so all sorts of little kind of things like that that just make it interesting for people to collect and trade and sell and all
mm.
that. So a lot kind
Okay.
of goes into that. There's a lot of different ways to kind of use that versus where something of a subscription service or just an outright purchase of a digital download is a little different.
And how do you sort of? Sorry, I'm just curious as to how you sell them once you bought them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's one of the other things. So you have with an NFT, you'd have because of the blockchain, you'd have chain of custody as well. So each ownership would be verifiable. Say, well, so and so owned this NFT, and they're like a famous musician. I bought it from them, so that makes my version cooler than the other guy's version because no one cool owned his before. So you'll have that chain of ownership of each owner as it's sold and resold again, and then you can have, you can possibly have royalties baked in to where on that secondary or tertiary sale, 10% is still coming back to the band. So if it's a special one and it sells for it was only $100 to buy it, but then someone sells it for $1,000, you're getting 10% would be making that whole $100 again.
Mm,
So it's and depending on marketplace, like there's still not necessarily a standard for that royalties. Hopefully we'll get
mm.
there, but it is it's possible.
Fantastic, brilliant.
So some good benefits for sure. Yeah.
In
That's,
Simon's
that's
defense, I am terrible at describing anything.
Well, I'm definitely down to hop on a call with you guys at some point too, and
yeah,
Binks will
that'd be
just
cool.
wrangle me into one or something, and you guys can bounce some. Maybe if you have certain ideas or questions that I can help with, I'm definitely certainly down for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, no, my pleasure. Um, do you want to do your acapella?
I can. I did sing it last week, so it's not it's not a big deal. We just wanted to have 4 songs ready to go just in case, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure we've got people here that, not everybody here was here last week, so we'll have people, getting to hear it for the first time as well.
So this is Ghost. This is what we're calling the Spaces version. And the the album version, guys, is so unbelievably spectacular thanks to Simon and Johnny and their ability to just mastermind something incredible. So, um, with that in mind, this is Ghost. There's a ghost that's been haunting this place, hiding in walls and barriers that I'd finally almost erased. And resentment resides rent free in his heart. Rage replaced apathy and drove us apart. Well, at least Ghost knows that I tried. And a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. Tired of his need for fighting. Chilly, that's how I know that he's near. Better tread lightly, well, I'll stay aware. And how could I believe that he ever cared about a broken doll and all that she fears? Ghost, may I ask you something strange? Not expecting an answer, though I'll ask all the same. Why do you blame me for sin of past love? Forcing apology for deeds I've not done. Well, at least Ghost knows that I tried. And a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. Tired of his need for fighting. Maybe tonight he'll decide where to open up and confide. Maybe tonight he will make a sound. Stop pretending as though I'm not around. Maybe tonight he'll find his voice, and I'll hear it if I have a choice. Maybe tonight he will understand why I turned away from him and ran. Maybe tonight I won't feel so damn cold. I'm way too tired and I'm far too old. Maybe tonight will be the start. Forgive each other for falling apart. Ghost, ghost, ghost. Where is it that you go? Ghost, my lovely ghost. When reflections and mirrors show that of your greatest foe. Well, at least Ghost knows that I tried. And a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. And I'm so tired of his need for fighting. Yeah, I'm so tired of his need for fighting.
Yee.
That's
Woo!
Thank you.
Awesome.
That one always
Beautiful
gets
job.
me, man. I love it. It's good.
It's a
Got
corker.
some little got some tingles up in there. I did also just share the links again in both the live chat, and then I also dropped those for anybody in event links so they can be easily kind of found after show with chat gets going and stuff. So yeah, if everybody enjoyed this show and you're enjoying the music, it's free to go give a follow on Twitter and also drop the Bandcamp link, and then we can stay tuned for hopefully getting some of these or the full album release as a NFT. So yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. definitely look forward to, hearing more from you guys and getting some updates and, maybe helping out in any way that I can.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
I guess we're gonna step down. We're excited to see who else comes up to share their music for the evening. And again, thank you so much.
Oh, it's Felons, right? Felons.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
here Fellenz is jumping up on stages. We don't have tonight Jose Cabrerav, who most Monday nights plays some live music from down in Venezuela. Him and his partner Vanessa, who also sings, are at a moon ceremony. But we do have Fellenz, and he's going to play us a couple songs. So we'll have a smaller kind of
Awesome.
after party than the average night. But yeah, stick around and listen to a couple tunes from Fellenz.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your stories. It's awesome.
That was really, really nice. God, great quality. The sound quality was coming through really good. That and yeah, I'm excited to hear more. I think I really enjoyed all the tracks, but yeah, the third one definitely kind of just like transported me to this kind of like little period of life as songs can sometimes do. So that's kind of a special one when that happens. Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, it was interesting, with everybody's background in electronic music and stuff. I was like ready for it to, get the drum roll and the
hmm
deep bass drops, but it never came. It's like, wow, just really caught the vibe of
I had
musicianship, which is what it's all about. Really, I love it.
yeah.
Well,
I had a
and
little
the
different
thing is,
expectations too.
the
Go
thing
ahead,
is
Johnny,
too
please.
is like the album that's coming. So there's going to be 11 tracks on that album, and every single track is different than the next. So we've got some drum and bass, we got all sorts of stuff.
Super
So we'll
cool.
be jamming it. You guys just hold on.
No, I was
But
like,
thank you.
I was pleasantly
Yeah.
surprised. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, and so now I'm looking forward to hearing more because it seems like really pretty versatile. You guys are pros and got some talent, so I'm excited to get to hear more too.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and I just was totally impressed by the guitar work because, for a repeating line to go that long, it's just like, yeah, that's skills. Really awesome. So, hey, anyway, great to hear you guys. And, you made it. It was great.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, really easy. What's happening? This
How
has been a great night.
It's been a good Monday so far. I cannot complain. So, hopefully your day's going good. I know you were kind of a little busier today, so we'll probably just get a couple tunes out of you, but glad to have you here. How's it going on your end?
Yeah, it's good. Had a good conversation this morning with Musashi and Binks about getting this song minted. You guys have seen me play Jangle a bunch of times, but that's the kind of the hidden, uh, you know, diamond in the rough that's coming out. I did not mention it at during my present well interview with Kirk DeSoto. He's got that Friday show where I just was a phenomenal conversation with him. So cred
Awesome.
to just like uh, everybody else mentioned earlier, Binks. Yeah, it's a long road coming. All these pieces of music that are coming out. So, but in the meantime, just love jamming on Token Smart.
Awesome.
So, yeah, just trying to keep the chill vibe. I'm just gonna play with a lot of spatial energy here. Keep that reverb going. So here, I'm gonna
Nice.
redirect. So I'm just gonna, run through some tunes.
All right. Do your thing.
Just two. Who knows? Maybe more. This rate. is called First Stage.
Woo! Nice.
Just gonna double check my.
That was a rockin'.
Thanks.
No
I was
problem.
debating
We might.
doing the accompaniment on it, but I decided not to. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the level just a little bit more. How about now? Can you hear a little bit better?
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew I was.
that is super solid. And
Sorry about that.
oh
Waking
yeah,
up now?
yeah. I'm turning you down, bro. I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
No,
It's
you're
just
good. You're good. It's not. I don't think it's
working
clipping.
Now I'm in that 2/3 range, not half range. All right. So this is called Crested Butte.
Well, all right.
One more?
Oh yeah.
Another page is turned.
Very nice.
And my little
That was
train
rocking.
comes to my rescue.
Love that
Oh, the
train.
train come through.
I don't mind if that train is, you know, in the middle of a song, right in between a conversation. I just always like that train.
It's a lovely train. Well, hey, great night and easy
We
going.
Yeah, I appreciate you jumping up and playing some tunes. I know you're you know, getting ready for a travel or something, and so kind of busy. But we actually have one more guest tonight. Sky Bravo also has a new tune, so I believe he's going to play us a jam as well. We got him up on stage.
Bravo.
We'll see if
comes
we
to
get
Sky.
a
Hello, can you hear me?
connection. There he is. Yeah, we hear you.
Yo, nice.
Hey,
Well,
bro.
I didn't have the wherewithal to actually place my interface all together, so I'm just on my um, regular,
Just on the old mobile.
just on the old. Well, I'm on my computer, so it's maybe slightly a little bit better, but or worse. I have no idea. My phone died, so this is the option that we have now.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
This is like a softer song. And I don't really even know it all the way yet. So this is, thank you so much.
We're
I'm
getting the
working-
alpha.
You're getting the alpha. Yeah, exactly. This is, I guess I've been doing some songwriting, I guess workshopping, you know, I'm in Nashville. I've been working with a particular mentor in particular who's been in the business for a long time and seen a lot, you know, seen just a lot of things that have gone through from like early 90s to now in the business.
Right on.
At a very cool level. And he's just talking to me about being honest, like really, like, you know, really like if you want to really make an impact with your song, you know, instead of just make people dance or whatever, like some of the things that I've
Right.
done are more natural to me with a band behind me. You know, the natural way is to tell a story and to use just, you know, a few chords and just be, you know, how do you be a songwriter in this? And I always feel like I've considered myself a songwriter, but I haven't necessarily approached it as in the Nashville way. And this is, I guess I wrote this after he challenged me to really be more honest. So this is more honest than I'm comfortable with, honestly, you know, to be
There you
perfectly.
go. That's,
Um,
I mean, even
yeah,
just doing that is gonna like have some growth, right? So that's awesome.
yeah, for sure. So the song is called Michigan Girl. It is about a wife who is originally from Michigan. So how many songs do we need about whiskey and women? How many broken hearts do we have in this world? She's a million reasons why I'm in Tennessee thinking, hey, yeah, I'll always love my Michigan girl. Michigan girl, you got your mama's girl. Hey, when you're dancing, changing the world. If you could see what you're doing to me, can't tell if I'm melting, walking on the sea. Oh, Michigan girl. Ah, Michigan girl. How many times are we gonna argue before we figure? I gotta do that one again. AZ, I just saw your face and I got encapsulated by the joy that I feel with sharing the song with you, and it just made my heart so full. Thank you so much. I really have a song with. I played it at a nursing home the other day, but that was the only people that have kind of heard it. So this is.
Dude, it's sounding awesome, but I want to make sure we get all the all the clarity. So let's just check some of your settings because like I'm hearing it, but it was cutting out a little. Do you want to go into since you're on the computer, so
Sure.
go to your profile and then go to user settings, scroll down to voice and video, and then make sure that you take the input sensitivity all the way to the left and also turn it off.
Okay, cool.
And then scroll down. Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any other settings we need to kill. Basically, turning off like echo cancellation,
Okay.
and then noise suppression to none.
Okay.
And you
Automatic gain control.
Off.
Automatic gain control off.
Yeah, turn that off too. Yeah.
And then
I think that should do it.
okay, cool. Let's just test that. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad that I forgot the words.
Way better already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, all right. I may have to just start over. I don't know if I've ever started in the middle of a song, but we'll see. Maybe this is the second verse, and it could just be the first. We'll see in 1 second. How many times we gonna argue before we figure it out? Hey, love ain't always pretty, but that's what it's all about. Sometimes you gotta stop trying to fix. Gotta start with myself, gotta start with the dishes. If you could see how you shape me, can't tell if I've melted, become part of your sea. Oh, Michigan girl. Michigan girl, you got your mama's girl. See when you're dancing, changing the world. If you could see what you're doing to me, can't tell if I'm melting, walking on the sea. Oh, Michigan girl. Michigan girl. How many new questions are we gonna answer? How many old days do we have on this earth? Hey, I know you don't like thinking that far into the future, but after we die, I promise that I will find you again and we'll give this a whirl. Oh, Michigan girl. Michigan girl. Michigan girl. Give a baby boy curl. Hey, look at him dancing, changing the world. Oh, if you could see how you shape me, oh, can't tell if I've melted or become part of our sea. Oh, Michigan girl.
Absolutely beautiful. Love it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
My girlfriend's
definitely
from
can,
Michigan. Yeah.
could feel that like straight from the heart.
It just feels so good. It feels so good to have such incredible friends that are just like you just carry around in your pocket, you know? Well, how weird
Pretty
and
special.
cool and special is that? You know, it's like what a what a wild connection that we've been able to make through. I think about that every day. That
Totally.
JPEGs, dude, like just the dumbest possible things, and it just like make us so curious, you know, make us really, really curious about what connections that we can really make with each other, and how that kind of challenges us to make new connections with ourselves. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I just seeing your face honestly just inspired. I'm like crying a little bit. Like the song was emotional about my wife, but I'm like looking at you and I'm crying. It's
Oh, watch it, bro. It's it's so much depth to where like when we started, it's like, oh, digital this and pictures of monkeys, and it's just gone so far past that.
yeah, man. I like, you know, I'm a dumb one. I like the monkey picture part of it too. You know, I love traits. It's like
Right.
it's such a silly inherited trait to like be a collector in that way. Like to like stamp collect or rock, you know, like we all have that in us. That's like it's a very human trait, but some of us are way too pattern oriented, you know? And it just I love the way that it can suck you in, and I love how Trizlet and Elbows, you know, Avastars have so much personality in such a simple form. I feel like one of my neighbors, I was walking around earlier, and one of my neighbors said to me, he goes, well, you know, I was like, man, because I said this other neighbor walked by. I was like, dude, he's got the same spirit as my friend Adam, I swear, and I'm gonna talk to him one day. And he's like, man, there's only about 10 people in the world, you know. So I was like, he goes, you know, there's only about 10 people in the world. I said, man, that's amazing. I like that. I've never heard it said quite that well. Only
Totally.
but
that in a song.
Yeah. You want me to do it right now?
Sure. Give it to
I
us.
don't know.
Live.
Live. Okay, cool. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in this world. It's like, which one are you? Are you a 1 or 2? Hey, I'm a 7.5. If you want the truth, oh. Just a couple more people than there are continents. If you want to know if you are a queen or a prince, you can ask the good people who have the evidence. Cause there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in the world. That's what I got. That's as far as I can get.
That was awesome. Well done. I like that just a couple more than continents. That's good.
Thanks, dude. You know, I was thinking about what other things have small numbers but are also mighty, you know? Continents.
Yeah.
There's not, you got to think about, whoa, hold on 1 second. Just on a metaphorical scale, right? There's not really that many continents, you know? And yet, they're pretty mighty.
A lot of variety.
A lot of variety.
Those handful of continents.
Yeah. That's a tweet. That's a Sky Bravo tweet that you guys got first, you know? I might not ever tweet it, but that's the sort of stuff that I don't tweet all the time. There's only 7 continents. You know, y'all are like so impressed by there's only 10,000 Bored Apes. 10,000 crypto punks.
Talk
cool.
about
Yeah.
scarcity,
dude.
And
Yeah.
continental scarcity.
Yeah. That's good. What if we only ever release editions of 7? So what do you think is the best possible thing that could happen? Are you supposed to be done right now, or is people just vibing? Is this...
No, yeah, we're vibing. Maybe another like 10 minutes, and then it's time for me to actually do a family call. But
Okay, cool, nice,
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, thank you for. I don't. I mean, I don't have any agenda or anything. But what's the best possible thing that could come out of this? Do you think that we could invent teleportation or something in the like 8 minutes that we have left?
that would be handy, super handy. I've always wanted to teleport. I don't know.
I have a crystal.
Probably easier.
We could start with this.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm pressing it against my third eye. I'm going to see if I appear next to you.
Yeah, now you can. Holy shit.
No,
Maybe a mental transportation.
A mental transportation. So the move right here is to screenshot me and then make me your background, because then that's teleportation.
I even do that. I can screenshot.
This is how we teleport. I'm gonna do my fingers.
I know they have backgrounds. If I can do a specific edited one. Oh yeah. Custom.
Do any of y'all have synesthesia? Do any of y'all have the thing where I just tasted this crystal because I put it on my fingertips, and then especially when I put it on my forehead, it's a little sweaty, so now I can taste it on my tongue. Is that weird to anyone else? Because it seems not regular to me, and it's been bothersome for quite a while.
Isn't synesthesia where you hear colors or like?
I don't have that one. I don't hear colors. I taste
vision or something.
Synesthesia is just crossed. It's just crossed. Like I can taste with my fingers and my ears. Like I can hear certain sounds will completely change like a sound can dry out my mouth. Like if somebody put a bunch of chalk in there. Is that weird?
That's trippy.
Does that ever happen to you? Like somebody sawing? The sound of sawing makes sawdust come in your mouth?
I mean, not. I don't think as strong as you're describing. But maybe to have like memory triggered from a song that could bring like a flavor or smell or something kind of to mind.
That's interesting. I think we hold certain memories in our teeth. I heard that on the internet one time, and it made me think about certain things, like when I think about my elementary school. I feel like my teeth feel funny when I really visualize that. So I don't know. I really have a vivid imagination. I'm very excitable.
There's big nerves in the teeth and stuff. And they do say our memories aren't necessarily just in the brain anymore. I mean, they used to think that, I guess, but I think now there's like multiple places where you could kind of store memory and stuff. People have even gotten pieces of their brains taken out and still had like, memories of childhood and things that should have maybe been lost. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the Egyptians, they discarded the brain. It was like excess. They got it out through the nose. You know about that, right?
Oh yeah. Gotta use the hook.
Yeah, that's
They had some very trippy beliefs about death and rebirth and like becoming a star and like all these pretty fascinating belief systems.
I need to look into becoming a star, because I feel like that's just pretty much how I
That's
feel.
where we came from, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that are both metaphorically, there's a metaphorical truth and a metaphysical truth to certain things that resonates on a much higher level than a physical truth. Can I tell you one thing? I think that I got like 1 minute, and I can. So I'm thinking a lot about the physical, right? And how the physical can't be real, just in the sense of, or that there are certain illusions that go along with the physical, as in this, right? As in, I'm not touching anything. Like, there's not, on an atomic level, like, there's no contact, and yet I perceive
It's mostly just empty space. Yeah.
just empty space, right? So, just thinking, like, going along that line, if I'm not touching anything, like, how, but I feel the touch, it's like, what is really going on here? And the the I thought of this, I think today or yesterday. I was like, that we, as spirits, like, if you identify with, like, the eternal part of yourself, the part that's just not this, like, this is so confusing and, like, whatever. But if you identify with this thing that's never born and never dies and has been the same in you that when you were 8, but now your body's different, and, like, all of these different things, your perspective and all of these other things, but you, at this like spatial level, you're not really touching anything. So if I go and kind of follow that, then it's like my spirit wanted to so desperately, wanted to the illusion of separation, because it had experienced oneness for eons of millennia or whatever, and that this is really the best that we can do, is like this facade where if you look too close, it just doesn't, you're like, oh, wait, nothing's touching. It's like, that's, you know what?
Right.
I'd like to investigate that further, but I can't get that small. But I'm just gonna jump to some conclusions, and that's just kind of like where my brain is melting out of my ears right now, thinking about that. I can't stop thinking about it every time I type something. It's like,
It is.
so
It's a
frustrating.
trippy one. It brings
So-
forth, the ideas of the like simulation theory and things like that. But yeah, it's hard to grasp that the desk that the computer's on is very, 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 very tiny amount of matter and a lot of space and a few electrons. And
It sounds a lot like holographic, right? I heard another thing on the internet, which from terribly reliable
Must be
source.
true.
Must be true that all of the information in the whole universe's stuff would fit inside a sugar cube. And I was like, that is the first thing that I've ever heard that makes sense. It's like all of the actual information, that everything else is just space. So like, right, like if you imagine like the Star Trek version, like you're just projecting like a multiverse out of this, and it's like a really fun, like, it's nice, because otherwise easy, like, how could I appreciate how we're different unless we faked it, unless we set up a little thing, unless we were like, okay, cool, yeah, go through this little thing. It's like everybody's like waiting in line, like it's a ride, but there's just like a long line of oneness, and everybody's like, oh, let me squeeze like one little.
Shoot your soul light through the separator crystal or something. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. That's exactly. Shoot your soul through the separator crystal. Come to the world where the division symbol means something, bro. It's gonna be sick. I don't know. All right.
Oh man. Great stuff. Very glad that you came and showed up and played that epic song.
Thanks, dude.
Feel free anytime to come and hang and perform a little.
Awesome, cool. Well, hey, I'm doing a live stream on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. We're gonna I've booked like a bunch of musicians at a handful of musicians at a live spot here in Nashville. And I'm going to try to live stream it and try to get it into the metaverse.
Nice.
I haven't told anybody because I'm not sure if it's going to work, but
we're never sure if it's going to work until we do it.
So yeah, but awesome. All right, you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
me posted for that. I should be able to make it. I have a Wednesday show I do that usually ends about like by 2 Pacific. So that should be like an hour before the show starts. So I should be good.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I'll message you. Anybody else wants to come?
Awesome,
I'm going to say Wednesday at 6 p.m. CST. Talk to Sky Bravo about it. Maybe maybe if we figure it out, I'll message you to try to get it in the Discord or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, everybody that came and hung out. It was a great Monday, and I'll see you on the next one. Same time, same place.
Happy birthday, Trizlet. I'm so excited. 420 for life. Planet Banks, you're amazing. Everybody else, Dragonate, you're in here twice. I like that. Elbow. That's a nice. I like how you did that with the 3, you know. Graph Call, Leaf. That really actually really calms me. IG88, you're doing a great job. That is like that is where we came from right there. Johnny Invisible, I see you.
Awesome. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for tonight. So peace, love, and whipsy, and hold to the vibe. Stay away from the FOMO. Touch some grass. I'll see you around the metaverse.